Hey guys, John Dean from Immediate Edge here, and in this video today we're actually going to use a free tool called Constructly to install our WordPress blogs and actually start testing our niche. It's a very simple sign up process. It's just one click of a Facebook button, and then it's a very easy installation process. So without further ado, let's head on over to the video. Okay, to get started and install your WordPress site using Constructly, you need to head on over to the website for Constructly, which is www.construct.ly. And when you land on this page, there's no massive sign-up forms to fill in, there's no credit card details to fill out. This is all 100% free, and signing up to use the Constructly service is very simple indeed. All you need to do is click on the Connect with Facebook button, and then it will register you using your Facebook details. This is the only method of using Constructly. So if you click on the Connect with Facebook button, you will then get the authorization dialog box, as it's known, asking you to click on the button to go to the app. If you click on cancel, then it will not set up an account and you won't be able to use Constructly. In order to carry on and actually use Constructly, you need to click on the button that says go to app. This will then go and authorize your Facebook details, and it will add you to the Constructly system. And then next time when you click on Connect with Facebook, it should just go straight to this page, which is the latest news page. So basically, when you land inside of Constructly, you'll see we've actually got three tabs. At the top, we've got the latest news tab, which is the one we're on at the moment. The second tab is your sites, and then the third tab is a bug reports page. Constructly is a beta service, and you never know, from time to time there may be a bug that crops up with the actual service itself. So if you find one, please report a bug to us. Please note that this is not a support desk, and we do not do troubleshooting of problems with your hosting provider or your domain. It's simply, if there is a bug with the service, then please do report it to us and we'll fix the bug. When you land on this latest news page, you'll see we've got a welcome message at the top, and then on the left hand side we basically keep you up to date with what version of WordPress is being installed and the plugins that are automatically installed alongside the installation of WordPress. On the right hand side, we've got a getting set up and installing a site video, and also you'll see it says please note Constructly is tested to work with HostGator and we do not support any other hosting providers at this time. If you don't have HostGator, there's a link here you can click through. It's an affiliate link. In theory, Constructly should work with any Cpanel based hosting company. However, we don't support it, so if you do choose to use Constructly using a different Cpanel hosting provider and a problem happens, then we're not going to be able to help you out. So to actually get started and install a site, you just need to come across to the Your Sites tab. So I'm going to click on that, and then you'll get a list of sites that you have used Constructly to install. And as you can see at the moment, there's one site in there, which is my personal blog, johndean.co, and the blog is live. Now, if I go over and show you my personal blog, there it is. I've changed the theme, but it's quite basic. It's a blog. So what we're going to do is we're going to use Constructly to set up a brand new site on a different domain so we can show you how it all works. Now please note, Constructly will install a fresh blank copy of WordPress on the domain that you are giving it. So if you already have WordPress on the domain that you've got, do not enter it into Constructly because it will overwrite that installation. This is purely for setting up brand new, fresh WordPress blogs. Okay, so to install a site, you come across and you click on this Install New Site button here, and then you get a 4-step process that pops up. Now, all of the fields that are required fields have a little red asterisk, and if you don't fill it out, then it will tell you that you need to fill it out and it will not let you proceed to the installation stage. But the first bit here is to fill out the actual domain where you want to have Constructly installed. So in order to do that, you just need to click in there, and you'll see it's already filled out with http://www. So all you need to do is fill out the remainder of your domain. And the domain I'm installing on is rain.co. It's one for Dan. Now, Constructly can install on subdomains. So if you've already set up a subdomain and pointed it at your hosting provider, all you need to do is change the www to the actual subdomain that you have already set up. However, I'm installing it on just a normal domain, so I'm leaving it as www.rain.co. So when you visit www.rain.co, you will find the WordPress installation at that address. You'll see there's a second option here to add a folder if you want to install WordPress in a folder as opposed to just on the domain. So for example, let's just say that you've already got a normal HTML site that's a few years old maybe, and you want to add WordPress to that site. Now you might want to add it into a folder called, let's just say blog. So if I type blog in there, if I was to leave that as it is on the screen with a folder called blog, then the WordPress installation will get installed at, and I'll just pop it up, http://www.rain.co/blog. So that would be the address that you get to the WordPress installation. Now, I'm only showing that for some other users who may want that as an option. In 99% of the time, you're going to be wanting to install it on your normal domain, which is what I want to do today, so I'm just going to remove that. So I've left it in as www.rain.co, and that is where it will install the WordPress installation. So I'm going to click through onto step 2. And on step 2, this is where we have to put in our cPanel username and password details. You'll see there's also an option to enter FTP username and password details if they are different. 99 times out of 100, it will just be the cPanel username and password that you need. But if you have separate FTP details, then speak to your hosting provider and enter them in there. Now, in order to get these cPanel username and password details, they're actually sent to you when you set up your HostGator account. If I flick across to my email, I'll show you the email that I received from HostGator when I set up my account with them, and you'll see it says thank you for your order, and then we get this section here that says your control panel with an address to your cPanel, your domain that you registered when you set up your HostGator account, and then your username and your password. I'm blanking these out at the moment because these are my actual details, but the details we have in your username and your password are the cPanel details that you need to enter in Constructly. And we need these because we need to copy over the WordPress files and we need to run the installation scripts, and without them we're unable to do any of that. So copy across your username and password details and enter them in these fields here for cPanel username and password. I'm just going to enter mine in. So I've entered mine in and I'm happy with that. I've checked it that they're correct, and I'm going to click on step 3. Now step 3, this is where we have to enter the details for our actual WordPress site that we want to appear in the search engines. So we've got a blog name, a default WordPress category, and a blog description. Now just to show you what these three things are, I'm going to head back over to my personal blog at johndean.co, and you see at the top it says John Dean in big letters, and that is my blog name. And then we've got in smaller letters underneath, it says John Dean, bringing nonsense to the world since 1973. That is my blog description. That's where that information is being pulled in from. Now you'll see I've got a blog post here, Pavlov's Apps, and you'll see above it, it says Apps with a little grey background. That is the category that blog post has been posted into. And if I scroll down the screen, you'll see on the right hand side, I've got 4 categories on my site at the moment: apps, hiking, life, and web. Now when WordPress has its initial installation, it automatically has a default category, and the default category is normally called something like uncategorized, which isn't too friendly for the search engines to let them know what your site is about. So ideally you want to make your default category something that is more related to the main keyword you are targeting. So for example, over in Constructly here for Dan's site, I'm going to put the blog name as Dan Rain, because it is a blog, it's rain.co. The default WordPress category, I'm going to change it from general to iPad app development, because I know that's one of the keywords that he'll be targeting. And then in the blog description, I'm going to put, this is my place where I discuss iPad app development and other good techie stuff. ... So you can put anything you want in the blog description. You don't want to make it too long, but you do really want to include your main keyword in there. So once you've entered those details in, and we can actually change these later on after the install has happened, but for now I'm going to leave those as they are. And once you've entered them in, you just click on the button to go through to step 4. Now in step 4 we need to enter a blog admin username and a blog admin password, and these are to actually log on to your installation of WordPress after it's installed. So in order to do that, you just need to choose a username and password that you're going to remember. Now you can use whatever you want for your username and password, but ideally you don't want to make them anything that's easy to guess. You know, you want to make this as secure as possible. So I'm just going to put my user as my username, and then I'm going to put in a password there. So I will go and put in a different password, and then in the email address field you need to put in a valid email, because if you ever forget your details and you need to click on the send me a password reminder link for WordPress, that is the email address it will go to. So make sure that you've filled those details out correctly, and then once you're done you just need to come and click on this install site button. You'll then see that the dashboard says Dan Rain, and it's got the blog URL, and then the install stage says pending installation. What will happen now is Constructly will go behind the scenes and it will check the details, make sure that the domain is pointing to your hosting account and that the DNS has worked through, and then it will start installing the files. Now, depending on how many people are using the service and how big the queue is, this may just take a few minutes, or it may take a slight bit longer. The page automatically refreshes every 30 seconds or so, but you might just want to go away and then come back later and it'll all be installed for you. Now I'm going to pause the video here, and then I'll come back once the site has been installed. Okay, as you can see now, it says the install stage, the blog is live. And if we want to actually go over and see the blog, we just need to click on the blog URL that's here for rain.co, and you'll see it launches in a new window, and you'll see at the top it says Dan Rain, and that was the blog title, and then it says this is my place where I discuss iPad app development and other good techie stuff, and that was the blog description. And then you'll see there's if I scroll further down, you've got the Hello World post, which is the default post that's just put in there when you do an installation. And you'll see it says posted in iPad app development, which is the default category that we set up. If I come across to the right hand side, you'll see it again, it says categories iPad app development. So it's all done. Now to actually just check that we can log in and make sure everything is fine, I'm going to head back to Constructly. And you'll see there's a login button on the right hand side. If you click on the login button, it will automatically take you inside the WordPress dashboard, and you'll see it says welcome to your new WordPress site. So that's it. That's how to use Constructly to quickly and easily set up a brand new fresh copy of WordPress onto your domain. So your action step for this video is to go to www.construct.ly, sign up for a new account using your Facebook account, and use the Constructly tool to install a new copy of WordPress onto the domain that you're testing as part of the challenge. So once you've done that, we'll be all ready to rock and roll, and we'll see you in the next video.